The question right now agencies are asking is, where is former Mumbai Police Commissioner Parambir Singh? Speculations are rife about Parambir's whereabouts as the former top cop has not been seen in public. The Maharashtra government and NIA are clueless about Parambir, who is on sick leave since May 4th. Parambir Singh last appeared before the NIA on April 7th after the probe agency had issued summons to him in connection with the Antilia bomb scare. On March 17th, Parambir was shunted out as DJ Home Guards. However, he joined his new deputation on March 22nd, but attended office only till May 4th. Thereafter, he sought multiple leave extensions, citing ill health. Parambir is in the dock after the NIA charge sheet nailed him in the Antilia bomb report. A cyber expert claimed he was instructed by Parambir to modify the probe report by including Jai-Shul-Hind poster angle in the report.
तरह की खबर चल रही है कि वो विदेश चले गए, तो क्या आप लोगों के पास ऐसा इनपुट है?
ऐसी तो न्यूज़ है, मैंने भी ऐसे सुना है। हाँ, इनपुट ऐसे ही है कि वो होंगे या नहीं होंगे।
So exactly why is Parambir Singh in the dock? The NIA in its charge sheet, which was filed in early September last month, has in fact revealed that Parambir took the help of a cyber expert to actually modify his report on the Antilia bomb scare case. As per the charge sheet, he even paid 5 lakh rupees to the cyber expert to add Jai-Shul-Hind poster.
A crime story with dramatic twists and turns. A sinister plot that gets murkier. Senior policeman, a former minister in the center of the probe. The NIA's 10,000-page bombshell charge sheet reveals it all. The NIA claims its probe has nailed ex-Mumbai top cop Parambir Singh in the Antilia bomb scare case. The charge sheet says Parambir Singh allegedly forced a cyber expert to fudge a police report and concoct cyber evidence. It quotes a statement by the 30-year-old unnamed cyber expert as claiming that he, Parambir Singh, on March 9th during a training program. At the meeting, the expert happened to tell Parambir that he had assisted the Delhi Police Special Cell in the Israel Embassy blast case in January. He also told Parambir about how Delhi police traced a Telegram channel on which Jai-Shul-Hind had claimed responsibility for the blast to a phone number in Tihar jail. The expert claimed that Parambir Singh had asked him to make a similar report in connection with the Antilia case. The cyber expert then sat inside the police commissioner's Mumbai office, prepared the report on his laptop. After going through the report, Parambir allegedly asked the expert to insert the Jai-Shul-Hind poster used in Delhi. The cybercrime expert claimed that he modified the report as per the commissioner's order. Parambir then asked his assistant to pay the cyber expert 5 lakh for the job. The explosive claims raise several questions in the Antilia bomb case. What was the motive that brought such powerful men together to create a scare in front of an iconic landmark of Mumbai? Bureau Report, India Today.
And the political turmoil this Friday in Punjab is far from over. The 2-hour-long meeting between Punjab Chief Minister Channi and Navjot Singh Sidhu has failed to yield any substantial result. Sidhu has been adamant on his demand to remove Advocate General and the DGP. Chief Minister Channi, on his part, has refused to budge. India Today has learnt that the CM has agreed to form a committee to address the issues raised by Sidhu. But the issues that they were unable to really reach a consensus on will be decided by the party high command. Amid this turmoil, Congress's Punjab in charge Harish Rawat is likely to visit Chandigarh to address the problems. Speaking to India Today, Rawat lashed out at Sidhu, saying by resigning from the PCC post, Sidhu has decreased his reliability.
सिद्धू जी को कुछ कहना भी था तो पार्टी के अंदर कहना चाहिए था और उसको सार्वजनिक करके उन्होंने अपनी प्रतिष्ठा को स्वयं चोट पहुंचाई। गलतियां तो हर इंसान से होती हैं, लेकिन मैं समझता हूं कि मैंने जितने विनम्रता के साथ और डेमोक्रेटिक वे में सारी चीज़ें देखते सहते भी काम किया है, उससे कहीं ऐसा नहीं लगेगा कि मैंने पंजाब या किसी पंजाबी प्रा के दिल को दुखाने का काम किया है। मैंने वही किया है जो पंजाब के इंटरेस्ट में था या जो कांग्रेस के इंटरेस्ट में था।
Another player in this entire political potboiler is Captain Amrinder Singh. Humiliated by the Gandhis, Captain Amrinder Singh has decided to quit the Congress. The former Punjab Chief Minister has removed the mention of the Congress party from his social media profiles. He's also declared that a new political force will be rising in the state soon. Amrinder has also lashed out at Sidhu, declaring that he will not let Sidhu win at any cost.
Navjot Singh Sidhu on a rebellion. Punjab CM Channi is trying to pacify mounting unrest. But it is Captain who is in the thick of all action. Amrinder Singh, who was forced to quit the post of Punjab CM, has made his intentions clear.
Number one, I am not going to remain in the Congress. Number two, I am not joining the BJP.
Amrinder says the party is going downhill and is sidelining senior party leaders. He also blamed Sidhu's elevation as Punjab unit chief for his decision. He accused the party of playing into the hands of anti-India forces.
Sidhu is not the right man for Punjab, and agar wo ladega, jahan se bhi ladega, main usko nahi jeetne दूंगा.
While Amrinder says he's on the way out of the Congress, he claims he is not headed to the BJP. His series of meetings in the national capital has sparked speculations of a handshake between Captain and the Saffron Party. Amrinder met Home Minister Amit Shah and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval in the 3 days he was in Delhi. The Amrinder camp claims his talks with Shah were on farm laws and the protest over it.
ये उसका कोई कनेक्शन नहीं था, ये कुछ और बातें थी जो मैं सुबह भी कह चुका हूँ कि जो कई इश्यूज हैं सिक्योरिटी के वगैरह जो मैं उनसे बात की.
But Amrinder is silent on whether politics was also on the agenda. Less than 5 months left for the assembly polls. Will Captain become the biggest thorn for the Congress government in Punjab? With Kamaljeet Sandhu in Patiala and Anand Patel in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And what's happened in Punjab has also split the Congress after G23 rebel leader Kapil Sibal questioned the party, asking who's leading it. There was sharp criticism that came in from his fellow congressmen. Protests also broke out outside Sibal's home soon after his press conference. You then had several leaders like Anand Sharma, Shashi Tharoor condemning the hooliganism outside Sibal's house and urging Sonia Gandhi to take action against party workers who attacked Sibal's residence.
From the Punjab mess to this.
In our party, at the moment, there is no president. So we don't know who is taking these decisions. We know and yet we don't know. एक बात तो स्पष्ट है, हम जी हजूर 23 नहीं हैं. ये तो बात स्पष्ट है.
Trouble for the Congress party knows no bounds. With senior Congress leader Kapil Sibal openly taunting his own party leadership, matters have escalated very quickly. Within hours of Sibal questioning the decision-making in the party, Delhi Congress workers reached his residence with placards saying, "Get well soon." Furious party cadres threw tomatoes at his house. They also damaged his car. Not just workers, many party leaders came out one by one to express their strong disapproval of Sibal's remarks. Chhattisgarh CM Bhupesh Baghel even took a suit boot jibe without naming the G23 dissenters.
सिब्बल साहब को नहीं मालूम कौन अध्यक्ष हैं? श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी अध्यक्ष हैं पार्टी के, और वही श्रीमती सोनिया गांधी अध्यक्ष हैं पार्टी की जिन्होंने सिब्बल साहब को बार बार पार्लियामेंट पहुंचाने के लिए टिकट दिया। वही सोनिया गांधी अध्यक्ष हैं कांग्रेस पार्टी की जिन्होंने सिब्बल साहब को बार बार मंत्री बनाया। बगैर कांग्रेस के लगातार बैकग्राउंड होने के सीधे सीधे मंत्री बना दिया।
मुझे लगता है कि कपिल सिब्बल जी भ्रमित कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये क्लियर है कि कांग्रेस की लीडरशिप सोनिया गांधी जी के पास है। जितने निर्णय हो रहे हैं कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट कर रही हैं, लगातार अपॉइंटमेंट से लेके बाकी प्रक्रियाएं सारी हो रही हैं सोनिया जी के दस्तखत से, उनके निर्देश पे हो रही हैं। तो ये दुर्भाग्य है कि कपिल सिब्बल जी जैसे ज्ञानी व्यक्ति और अनुभवी व्यक्ति और कांग्रेस में सीनियर स्थान रखने वाले व्यक्ति को यही नहीं पता कि कांग्रेस के लीडर विद्यमान हैं।
While Sibbal has been vocal in his criticism of party's functioning, another G23 leader, Manish Tiwari, tread cautiously.
In the philosophy of the Congress party, and whosoever leads that party, if they are able to do justice to those core values, I do not think anybody really has a problem with that. Let's not, try and dumb it down to individuals. I think the battle for the idea of India is far greater than any individual or any set of individuals. It is a collective effort. It has to be a collective effort, and you require all progressive and nationalistic forces on both.
To add fuel to the fire, a defiant G23 has stuck to its guns. Senior leader Anand Sharma slammed hooliganism outside Sibbal's house, urging Sonia Gandhi to take action. Senior party leader Ghulam Nabi Azad too joined the chorus. He even asked Sonia to call urgent CWC meet over current situation in Congress. Can Gandhis stem the rot? With Abhishek Anand and Mosmi Singh in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And later today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be launching 2 landmark initiatives towards achieving India's sustainable development goals. The first, Swachh Bharat Mission 2.0, aims to make cities garbage-free and also water-secure. The initiative will also focus on grey and black water management and also ensuring that urban localities are defecation-free. The second installment of the Cleanliness Drive will also work towards safe sanitization in urban areas through solid waste segregation. The other initiative that will be launched today at 11 this morning is Amrit 2.0, Atal Mission Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. Amrit 2.0 will focus on providing 100% water coverage to 4,700 urban local bodies with the installment of 2.68 crore tap connections. The initiative will also provide 100% sewerage connection and coverage in 500 Amrit cities through 2.64 crore sewer connections. Let's move on to news from the national capital. Due to the implementation of the new excise policy, 40% of private liquor shops in Delhi will be shut starting today. On one hand, citizens are facing problems. On the other, the government says arrangements are being made to meet the supply shortfall.
Delhi is said to have bigger liquor shops and more choice of products. But before that happens, capital's drinkers will have to suffer some pain. To facilitate the implementation of the new excise policy, 260 private liquor shops or 40% of total vends will be shut from Friday. Though the government says arrangements are made to meet supply shortfall, citizens are already facing problems. Many are going as far as Gurugram to buy alcohol.
I think the decision to close the liquor shops is not acceptable because it will create a lot of hurdles. As it is, there is Corona time, and for the first time I am speaking without a mask. But I think lines will be there, and social distancing cannot be followed in these circumstances. And I think the government should reconsider its decision.
You will see people going to Gurgaon and then buying it at a cheaper rate from Gurgaon or whatever. There is a price difference in Gurgaon. So I think there will be a big revenue loss to the government, as well as it will be a threat to the Corona times which is currently happening.
Under its new excise policy, Delhi government has allocated fresh licenses to private firms for 850 shops that will open from 17th November. The 850 liquor vendors have been divided into 32 zones. In the newly established liquor shops, people would be able to walk in and choose the liquor brand of their choice. Some of such establishments will also have arrangements for snacks and other eating items. At present, there are 720 active liquor shops in Delhi, of which 40% are private and the remaining government-owned. Delhi government expects to get a revenue boost of about 3,500 crore rupees per year. The Delhi Liquor Trader Association, however, disputes the state government's claims.
मैं समझता हूँ कम से कम 45 दिन में 1000 करोड़ का लॉस हो जाएगा, कम से कम। और ये सारी शराब हरियाणा से और यूपी से आएगी, वहाँ से स्मगलर होगी, बूट लेकर पनप जाएंगे और अनलीगल दारू आएगी। हमारा सुप्रीम कोर्ट से गुजारिश है कि हमें रिलीफ दिया जाए, हमारी 45 दिन के हमारे बढ़ाए जाएं और हमारी ये जो गलत पॉलिसी आई है इस पॉलिसी को निरस्त किया जाए।
As you can see, the stock of liquor is completely over in this shop, but at the same time the rush you can see at the government liquor shop, which will be continue to remain open. The Delhi government has asked to make arrangements so that the demand of liquor does not decrease. This is Sushant Mehra with camera person Ankit for India Today.
Welcome back to First Up. Indian vaccine Covaxin is all set to get approval from the World Health Organization. India today has accessed documents that confirm that the WHO will give the nod to Covaxin this month itself. Here are details.
Made in India Covaxin is all set to get the approval of the World Health Organization by the end of October. As per documents accessed by India Today, the COVID vaccine has successfully answered all queries by the WHO. In the World Health Organization's guidance document that has been accessed by India Today, it is evident that the process of assessment has been completed and that there are no more details that have been sought from the company and that the approval is expected. The guidance document also says that July 6th is when the review process for Covaxin had started within the World Health Organization. The nod will give much needed boost to crores of Indians vaccinated with Covaxin since their vaccination status is not recognized world over. What about the approval for Covaxin by the World Health Organization, the emergency use listing?
I think very significant progress has taken place. There are positive signals from every quarter. We believe this could happen in the next few days, maybe a couple of weeks. We are constantly engaged with the World Health Organization. We know that with data being provided by Covaxin, it is being respected hugely, and we are on track for an early licensure.
Around 11% of India's total vaccinations are by Covaxin. Once approved, Indians who have taken Covaxin will be able to travel abroad without the need to quarantine. It is also going to be a shot in the arm for the maker, Bharat Biotech. It is going to enable it to begin commercial deals, exports and contribution to global vaccine platform COVAX, helping developing countries. Meanwhile, Sputnik V, developed by Russia's Gamaleya Institute and in use in India like all other countries, is still awaiting a WHO clearance. But Serum Institute's Covovax, known as Novavax outside of India and being tested on children, is likely to see a WHO nod soon. In New Delhi, Sneha Murdani for India Today.